Yellow! There you go. Yellow!
Mine's quite loud.
Right,
I do have a natural loud voice.
That's
but
all right, I can turn that down then,
Hold on, I went the wrong way. Go again.
Well, hi.
See, this is what you call sound checking live.
Try again, Kewen.
Hi. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Aye, sound. He's not breaking the sound barrier just yet. Beswin?
Just yet.
Hello. I've got a really low voice today.
You don't, but okay.
Okay, maybe not.
Maybe
I feel like I've got a low voice.
Okay, it's okay.
Down low.
You happy?
Yeah. Oh, that's not loud enough, is it?
Is that on your phone?
Hang on. That's better, isn't it?
We've come a long way from having sound on the episode when we're going, fuck, that was loud.
Yeah, I know. I tend to do it. I tend to go quiet first and then loud. Whereas before, I went really loud and thought, no, that's too loud.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't hear things.
You need the
Goldilocks. Welcome to James's romantic tips.
Go loud or go home.
Welcome back to Off the Stage, where we bring musicians off the stage and into the pub. I am Connor Michael with my co-host James Berry, and on my left we have Mr. Kewen with a K.
And I've made the thingies bigger, so I'm not skipping. I'm not missing the thing. See how quick I did that clap there.
Is that a soundboard?
Soundboard, yeah.
I have so much fun with that.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I need more. I've got loads of sounds to choose from now. I haven't put them on. I need to load them up. I might load them up in the break.
Can you get like foghorns and stuff?
Yeah. I've just got like the random ones. You can't. Oh yeah.
I can because you did peak a little bit there.
Oh, right, then okay then.
You were fine when we did the sound check. Then you just shouted.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do.
It was his internal voice saying, "Connor, I do the dialogue to come into this thing."
Yeah. It's just something that's like in the back of my mind. So I've. Basically,
all
the soundboard is just clips from Connor's home.
Is Ollie Murs on there?
No, he's not actually. I need to get Ollie Murs on.
Should be.
I don't even think he's at the end of the podcast anymore, James.
No, he is.
He's definitely.
Yeah,
I've
definitely
seen him
is.
the other day.
You have to listen. You have to watch it all the way through.
I give up after like part one.
They've already given up on this one.
I know, right? So the first and most important question we've got, guys, is what are we drinking?
Water. But it might change because my car's broke down.
Oh, yeah. I know that's that was a fun story. We might have to, keep in tune to the end of the podcast to find out what happened to Kewen's car. See, that's what.
That's how it is.
That's how you
People
do it.
are going to skip.
Yeah.
All the way. Oh, has the car been figured out? No.
Skip to exactly 48 minutes.
After timing up 48 minutes.
Honestly, I don't know what this is. You suggested.
I can remember like 3 of the flavours out of the 16.
You just told James not to drive after.
Oh my God.
I did tell
I'll have
James
a sip.
not to drive after.
That is like, yeah. Oh, that's like it's hangy as.
That's the face you want.
That's like juice.
Yeah, it's
like something I would drink in the Caribbean or something.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing what I'd normally have. I'm a like lager kind of person.
I had a sample downstairs, so I know what it tastes like.
I mean, because the last few that you got us have like plum in it. So I want to guess there's a plum. There's a plum in here.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Oh well, okay. But what's it called?
We had like 3 names, and I don't know any of them.
Red Death.
I'll have a look when I'll have a look when I get down and get another one.
It's a sour.
I can tell that.
It's got blueberries in it. Rich.
Blueberries, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of coffee granule.
That's what I can taste.
A little bit of vanilla. There's some cherry in there.
I can taste the cherry.
I might have made peach up, but there might be some peach in there.
Coffee and blueberry and cherry. Flippin' heck.
And vanilla.
It's nice, like, aye.
And that's all I remember. But
What is it then?
Fucking rocket fuel, to be honest with you. 7.2%.
Is it really? Guess I'm walking home tonight.
I'll walk with you.
We're all going home together.
Yeah.
So you are here on your own.
Yes.
So we get like a small violin, don't we?
Before we get started as well, I do want to say like I really appreciate what you're doing. Like you've been doing this about a year now,
Thank you
and
very
like
much, yeah.
it's like really cool. And there's not much like this, especially not up here for like small artists. You know exactly what it's like.
Yeah. It's...
to like just come and talk about their music and represent their music.
He's about to do soundboard.
Oh no, it's alright.
Technically clapping yourself that though.
I love you.
What's that?
I love you.
I love you. Oh, yeah, I love you too. But no. It's just like really, really cool and encouraging. It gives us things to do, which is nice.
Thank you very
I've
much.
got lots of things to do, but it gives us.
So to our viewers, if you also feel the appreciation that Kewen has towards us, go on our Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, give us 5-star reviews, tell all your friends, get everybody involved, share it. It's a case of the more people that share the podcast and realise, oh shit, there's a podcast going on, the more views they get, and then Kewen's no longer just having like 30 people listen to his podcast. Next time he comes on, he'll have 130 people, and then people will listen to the next one, and we all learn about the music scene together.
It's kind of what we're getting now, really. We're getting over 100 views full episodes anyway, which is pretty
We
cool.
are the best music podcast in the North East.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
Rival us, go on, I dare you.
Don't. Not in the local music scene.
No.
You can't start something there.
Of course you can, there's been a few that have...
You know, I would have loved to have something like this when I was like first starting out.
100%. This is the type of thing I look for. When I release a song, I'll go on a thing called the Unsigned Guide. And it's like a five or a month or something like that. And you get all the details you need. So local radio stations, here's the email address, here's the contact number, and I'll like festivals and like gig bookers. It's great little information.
That's pretty cool.
I've just
Unsigned
bought
guide.
the music directory as well.
Yeah.
I was told that's like, it was 50 quid, not £5, but it was like, it's a big book with like loads of managers and labels, contact info on and stuff, and you've got your, it's separated by areas. I mean, 75% of it will probably be like different areas in the UK, but you may as well try some like Yorkshire stuff as well. And like,
it's handy if you're like if you're going on tour and then you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
But the Unsigned Guide.
Yeah, but it works because like that's the first thing I'll do. I'll go on like radio shows to promote this. But if there was like a podcast kind of thing, you think that's so much easier.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys this. I'll bore the listeners because obviously they can't see shit.
No,
But,
actually, well, they can now because
not on this they can't.
Oh, they can't on that. Oh, that's good.
So like for example, let's say you're looking for booking agents, right? What region? Well, we'll go on all the way to the northeast, which is here, right? Whereabouts northeast? Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Durham, Newcastle.
Okay,
Search.
let's say Newcastle.
And goes. Sadly, there's none for the booking agents.
Are we
There's a
on
bad
this?
description. Rehearsal studios in Newcastle. Give that a search. Right, okay. Next Pulse. Pulse.
I mean,
like,
to be fair, with the rehearsal studios, I'm pretty sure Google just.
it does, but then radio stations. Here you go. Right.
Well, the radio stations are
Nova Radio.
Yeah.
That's the email address to send to them. That's the presenter. That's the Facebook.
Save myself £5. Hang on.
Yeah. But when I'm like, for example, when I'm gigging in Birmingham and stuff, I'll go down to the Birmingham radio stations, and you've got your connections there just from this, and it's
That's handy, that.
That is very handy.
yeah. So a bit of free promo there. If you want to sponsor us Unsigned Guide, do let us know.
Because it's a struggle, like, for musicians, I think, like, to know where to put, like, you've got to spend lots and lots of time grinding away, sending your stuff, you know, when you've got jobs and other things to be doing, it's like,
What's a job?
What's a job?
It's a job.
A job is a thing that you go to that you hate, and they give you money for it.
Is it that thing that them adults get?
Yeah.
All right.
So what do we do then? Because you've got a full from that definition.
We get paid for stuff we love. Well, actually, saying that we don't get paid for doing this podcast. So what the hell is this?
Yeah, my job is to play Wonderwall.
Yeah.
So
get
things
paid
you
yet.
hate to do.
Here's an interesting thing about Wonderwall. I rarely play it.
Me too.
I rarely played.
And
now
it's
in
not
the
because I
phase.
choose not to. It's just I don't often get asked for it.
You're playing the wrong balls. I'm in a phase now where I'm just not playing Oasis because I'm sick to death of it.
I like Don't Look Back in Anger. I still stand by that's like one of the best written songs ever, and I love performing it. But I do that in She's Electric, which is a decent song. We do it with the band now. And Wonderwall comes up every now and again, but I try and purposely avoid putting it on my sets. So if it does I do get asked for it, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't played this in a while. It feels a little more fresh. It's the bright side at the minute. It's like
I still stand by 17 Gone Under by Sam Fender. That's my big request
Well,
song.
we always have to play Mr. Brightside at weddings.
it's the wedding song. Isn't
This there was a wedding on Saturday. It was the first ever wedding that specifically requested no Mr. Brightside.
Right.
And I was like, is this the turning point? Is this the peak where people actually are getting sick of this song that's been in the charts for like 25 years or for however long it's been out for? It's been about 20 years, isn't it?
My band keep like
Play it.
No, I didn't play it.
That would be a big middle finger.
That would have been, yeah. I was glad.
That would have been the
I
one
hate,
time to
flipping
play
hate
it.
that song now. The amount of flipping times you got to play it like 3 or 4 times a week. It's just like I'm sick of it.
I know. My band keep having my life because I mean, we do a lot of classics and a lot of like the indie stuff from the 2000s. And I always say whenever we're going to do like Dakota, Mr. Brightside, or like Particular Riot, we're always like, right, here's something recent. And then they look and laugh, and I'm like, what? It's like, oh, I feel old now.
Yeah,
like,
because I still class it as like modern songs.
Yeah,
it's like,
modern rock.
It is. It's like you're looking like I think 20 years older than me now, isn't it?
Yeah. My guitarist Dean loves playing Mr. Brightside. No, he hates it. And we keep getting asked for it, and it's like
it's a tough song to play on guitar as well.
Well, we've dropped it like 7 keys or something from my voice.
Oh,
so,
wow.
like, yeah. We're giving away our secrets here.
I know.
Yeah.
So just quickly, that was a rewind. Have
you got like a ball?
Yeah. So obviously here as a solo, but as you say, you've got a band.
Yeah.
What's your band called?
Kewen and the Crosswalks.
Yeah. And why?
I've gone through the who, what, why. Kewen and the Crosswalks. Yeah, it sounds cool. Everyone wants to call us Crossroads. Kewen and the Crossroads, but the Crosswalks, it's a bit more American, I guess. With the music's a little bit more on that Americana kind of like soft rock vibe.
It ticks off the genre question.
Well, the genre.
The only
thing,
one who's been able
enough,
to answer that though.
Funny enough, well, it's tricky because we've been having this discussion recently. In terms of genre, it's hard to place because there's like a full-on country song on the album that's coming out in September. There's like elements of like there's a metal breakdown in one of the songs. But a lot of it is soft rock, like, you know, kind of feel good rock.
It's probably quite Americana would be that category. Really.
Probably
Alt country.
Yeah.
Alt country.
I like genre-wising people. I do it every. I've realised I've done it every single podcast. The past few podcasts. I don't know what to describe as alt rock. Just say what you mainly are,
or just alter.
Yeah, just what you say, what you usually are, what you do a lot of songs of, and just say alt at the side, and then you can get, well, that sounds a bit metal. It's not country, but we're alt.
Yeah. I find like genre is such a like what's the word, like people just don't know what to place things sometimes. Like
it's a hard thing to place, but it's
subjective.
Also it's a subjective thing, especially in this day and age. But I think it's an important thing, like to be able to say like this is who we are, because you think Spotify playlists and stuff like that, all they're listed in like genres, so like a country playlist. So you got to have that kind of, well, we are country, so we have that. I mean, I'm not on. Sorry, I've downloaded a bunch of playlists, and a lot of like even country playlists. You think like some of the songs I get in there, you think, is it? But
it's
the
all like,
bands themselves probably just do say that the country, so it's like puts it on there. So
it's all perception. Like we're having this issue at the minute, sending off Chapters, my next single, to different places. We're using a website called Submit Hub as well, which is a good one. If you haven't heard of it, you buy credits and then you just send different like bloggers, playlisters. But you get feedback. Now people recommend you don't look at it. So I'm straight on reading all of it.
Same as all the feedback in the world.
And people are generally sending loads of good stuff about the song. A couple of people, obviously, and can't please everyone, but then loads of people are rejecting it because it doesn't fit their playlist or fit their style. So I think particularly my struggle, because it's a bit of a niche genre and it's a bit of a overlapping into different things. Some people said it was country, some people said it wasn't. And then it's like, what do I send it to? Am I sending it to the wrong genre?
I have that problem all the flipping time. That's why I called my band the best ever folk rock band out of Fulwell. So people just know exactly what I am, even though it doesn't really sound very folk punk, but very much folk rock.
Yeah.
But you know, swings and roundabouts.
Exactly.
And all that.
Exactly.
What are you on now?
Oh, I'm planning like the next section. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because just when we were speaking of genre, I just wanted to get your opinion on what information would you need if you were applying for a support act? Because I nearly got into a very sarcastic tiff with somebody on Facebook.
Okay.
As I'm sure we've all been there ourselves there, Callum.
Yes.
What you tend to find on Facebook is it's a great way to connect with a lot of good musicians. It's also a very good way to find out who didn't really get through school very quickly. And I'm not naming names because I won't show this, but for example, I'm looking for a support act for my gig at the end of May, which is in Birmingham. And what I put up was I'm looking for a local support act for a show in Acox Green on the 27th of May. The headline genre type is singer-songwriter. Now, if you read that and you thought, fancy, what does that sound like to you? Like, how would that be enough for you to go, this is me, this is not me?
I think it all depends on the exposure, doesn't it? In the kind of original scene, it's kind of like it's one of those where, especially for your up and coming artists, I've done my fair share of like supporting people and kind of trying to get my music out there a little bit. I opened a music school, which I'm sure we're going to talk about in Blythe, Kewen School of Music, and I had Andrew Cushion come and open it, and like, I don't know if you're aware, he's kind of making a few waves in the local scene and stuff, and he's getting himself out there. He's going on tour in America. He's like selling out shows in Newcastle. He's doing really well. I didn't think I was going to get Andrew Cushion. He was just like, "Aye, mate, I'll come down." And so I was like asking him, what like was the moment for you to get started? And he was like, you know, it was a club in Biker that I supported somebody and got my original song noticed. Noel Gallagher gave us a ring, actually, and I was like, really? That's crazy. And he was just giving us a bit of advice. He was like, you know, you've just got to grind away. You've got to do your Tuesday nights in like down in Dorset, like supporting somebody, and you might be 5 people there, or you know, like going to Liverpool on a Wednesday night for something like. Yes. And I don't think
opportunities where you can.
Yeah. And I don't think until much recently he's been making much money from that. I think if you're going and playing like covers for like you know, a living, or a weekend job, a second job, which, you know, I do a bit of everything, a bit of like the cover scene and the original scene, but and it's hard to like place yourself in whatever you're doing when you do a bit of both. I think like it's hard to know what direction you want to push certain things, and
especially if you're doing covers, because you're like, I do a little bit of everything, don't I?
Yeah.
But then what's your original stuff? Your original stuff's probably, you take bits from a little bit of everything, because you learn and cover songs, and you think, oh, I quite like that little bridge there. I might stick that in something like that in one of my songs.
Oh, you take inspiration, don't you? Yeah.
I've just learned how Damien Rice plays his D chords. It's slightly different. It's kind of like a C add 9, put 2 over, and you get rid of the E string kind of thing, and that's why it sounds different when he plays it. And I'm slowly putting that.
You put the C add 9 higher.
Yeah.
Now
I love doing putting into softer of my own songs.
Dreamy and nice.
I didn't figure that out, so I was pissing about with it.
Honestly, like there's a cool little chord progression I'll have to teach you. It's one of them C add 9 things, and you do the D add 9, and then you go all the way up with the 12th fret, the G add 9, and that sounds like really kind of like dreamy, jingly.
Yeah.
We love a good jingle.
Yeah.
But no, back to your point, like I think, you know, I've spoke to people before, and I've asked them to support me, and they've been like, I'm a bit too established and I'm doing this, that and the other now, and fair enough. I think there comes a point where you're like, where do you draw the line, and where do you not take on an opportunity like that? But
my issue was, my post was looking for a local support act for a show in the Acox Green, 27th of May, genre type, singer-songwriter, and their reply was, I'm a bit confused by what you're looking for.
You're not just copy and paste. Just like, I'm looking for.
Just put it in a different. I'm looking for a support act for a show in Acox Green.
27th of May, singer-songwriter
Some
genre.
people that like reply to comments, I feel like they don't think twice. So he goes, singer-songwriter, do you need to be that genre to be in it? And I'm like, well, you know, if you want to use your common sense, do you think it would fit? Does your genre fit the show? Indie could work, acoustic pop could work. If you turn up as a 17-piece heavy metal rock band, not going to work. And I just am, at the minute, I find in social media very difficult to sieve out who's really good and who's not fully developed
special
as a person.
I think social media is getting worse for just anything opinionated. Like, I'm getting more and more turned off of reaching out to people because of what you get back, no matter what your intent is or what you know, you've got nothing behind it, but you just get stuff back, you know.
Just someone behind the screen saying,
I love it when
how can this offend me? How does this offend me? And I'm going to be, well, what about this?
We've got a troll on the Crosswalks page who comes on, and he's got some great banter, and I give him a shout out.
Do you know him?
Maybe,
like
I don't know.
anonymous?
It's maybe he's like it looks like he trolls loads of people.
Yeah.
But it's great. He goes on about how all the homeless and the Kewen belt buckle, if it is like for sale and stuff. So I think they're like making his name on a belt buckle and stuff, selling them for merch and stuff with his face on. I think it's like a fake face and stuff on his account. But like, you just like, you're getting attention. So at the end of the day, like that's
all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
We spoke a few weeks back where we had somebody taking the piss out of me going on a UK tour, because how can it be a tour? You're only doing like 5 different cities.
Yeah.
It's like, because that's a tour.
Well, to be fair, like even the person that wants to argue it's not a tour if you're going outside the northeast, he did Birmingham.
Yeah, I got Birmingham,
Yeah, exactly.
York,
That's it.
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
But then I was getting loads of comments back going, I tell you what, if this is you on an anonymous account, this is a great publicity. I was like, it's not, but
your name was all over my newsfeed.
Yeah, it was mint. Everybody's in it.
Everybody loves a good drama though. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what's getting worse, and people are like not going outside. COVID's made it worse, and they're sitting behind their keyboards being warriors, like thinking, what can I say? I don't have the time to respond to them, never mind come up with them myself. There's things I'd love to say to people sometimes.
I love when you get the comments. We were having this chat earlier about when you gig going, not able to pay for the acts but free exposure, and you get somebody immediately, well, I can't pay my bills with exposure. Don't apply for the gig then.
Yeah.
Just sit back, let somebody else go, do you know what, this sounds like a good opportunity for me to get my music out there, and then them get the music out there and somebody go, that was fucking good, can I book you for this gig, that was really good, can I put you in this festival? Watch them thrive and you're there paying your bills with exposure.
What were you saying, James? You have a full-time job, don't you? And I'd assume, I know you want to go into more music full-time and more stuff, but you probably don't rely on gigs for your income.
I rely on it for
somewhat.
So essentially,
because you do covers, sets, and things.
Yeah, basically the normal job pays the bills, but the music pays for everything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do it for like just part time. I can name a few great musicians locally. Sam Shields, I think he like works when he does kind of the original show.
17th of June, he's on our festival. Go check it out. Yeah.
Elizabeth Little, I've just took her on at my music school. Like she does all sorts. She does a
Never
lot of
met
music
her,
stuff.
but I've come across her name so frequently.
I reviewed her track, like really good stuff. And I think Josh Hodgson, who I was telling you about earlier, he's like done loads of stuff. Like he used to, I think he went out of music for a while, but then he's back in. But the kind of like he does his covers thing, but like for the original stuff, I think you're kind of talking like you're doing a. You do it because you enjoy it a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's it. And to be honest, like there's a lot of musicians you can get like burnt out by just doing the covers. So it's good sometimes just to, you don't care if you get like £2 or 20 quid or whatnot for doing like an original gig. If you're getting your music out there and people are enjoying it, you're doing what you want to do instead of you're just playing to the crowd. Like the crowd are there to see you. You're not there to kind of mess. It's like it's a different kind of. There's a different vibe. There's different fields.
Yeah. I mean, I think original artists should be paid. You know, I think they deserve to be paid.
Of course they should.
I think that's the difference. Is it's like
it's just a market force, though, isn't it? It's like people want to go to the pub to listen to their favourite songs. They don't want to go to the pub to listen to some person they've never heard of before.
Yeah.
However, I mean, I don't think anything's stopping anyone from. I mean, I've played original songs at like a pub gig.
The original.
You just throw it in there.
Yeah, slide in a cheeky one.
If
Yeah,
they're really liking it, going, you know what? I've got one of these songs. If you'd like to listen to it, and they go.
Sometimes you get them saying, do another one, or in the next half they'll be like,
I
sing
did a gig at Philpy's at Wednesday, just gone, and there was only 5 people in the bar, and they were like, play us one of yours, and halfway through mine there was 2 of them left.
I was saying there was a similar thing with what happened to me at Beggar's Bridge. There's a guy playing original songs, like, oh, go on then. So I played one of my songs, the Espresso Martini song, which is the usual, that's the one that gets the hits because all the lasses have the espresso martinis. Anyway, like he was absolutely off his nut. So I was like, thank you, me. And then he just went, play an original song. And I was like, but the thing is, I was like, do you want another original song? So I played another one. And anyway, as I was playing this one, he just started like playing a video on his phone, full volume, clearly not listening. I was like, And when that
What
song
was the
finished,
video though? Because it's different if he's playing your song.
it was like TikTok. He was on like.
Could you imagine if you're like there going, Chelsea, Jackson, won't you? And he's there going, espresso martini to go. No, play that one again.
But I could tell he was on TikTok because it was just like little sound bites, and then he was like doing that, you know. And then I got then I was like, obviously he's not flipping listening, he's obviously just drunk. And then like 3-4 songs, like cover songs later, he went, play an original song. I'm like, no, I'm not going to play another original song. You can fuck off. That's the first time I'm saying I'm not actually going to play an original song. I'm just going to play the cover songs that I like to play. You're going to listen, or you're not going to listen.
I'm just going to do Wonderwall and Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
Brown Eyed Girl.
I'd rather sing Wonderwall and Mr. Brightside than sing another fucking original song for you. I'll not say the C word.
No, let's not waste them just yet.
I'll hide it.
Yeah. Just so that we can let James calm down, we're going to take a break. We normally do it just Ask James, but he's a little bit irate, so we'll see.
It's that drink, I'm telling you.
I
know.
We'll see after this break.
Oh yeah.
Did we record an advert for the festival? We did, didn't we? Record an advert for the festival, haven't we?
Yeah.
Have they been put in the thingies?
The first show will be tomorrow.
Mint.
Hello there.
Hi guys. We are here to tell you about our festival. On the 17th of June this year, from 2 o'clock at the Ship Isis, we are hosting our very first Off the Stage Fest.
We certainly
James,
are.
tell them who we've got.
We have headlining the Neoelectrics.
Woo! Most people go headline last, but go on.
We've all. I don't know how to do this. It's the first festival we've bloody hosted.
We have Yuma, Sam Shields, Josh Hennigan, Philip Jonathan, Black Moss, Electric Circus, and Fire Lady Luck. And then on our final 3 acts of the night, we have
Fail to Ignite.
LN. And who's headlining, James?
The Neoelectrics.
Oh, you never heard that before. It's going to be no fixed fee. You just walk in, you pay a donation, whether you want to pay a penny or you want to pay £1 million or even more, by all means. We don't take a cut. It all goes to the acts. If you pay $1 million, we might take a little sample. But realistically, no, we're not going to take anything. It's going to be given to the acts, split equally, and there'll be a separate tip jar as well on the stage. If you can make it all day, make it all day. If you can't, doors open at 2. Well, doors probably open like 1:30, really.
Yeah,
the first
1:30.
act's on at 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of all we need to say.
Yeah,
Turn up, Ship Isis and Sunderland.
And this camera's fucking wonky, I've just realised.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
you look taller for once.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
And either enjoy the rest of the pod, or I hope you enjoyed the episode. I don't know where this clip comes into it.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see you on the 17th of June.
See you later.
We're back, baby!
And welcome back to side 2. Are we doing a Just Ask James? Because I've calmed down a little bit.
Have you got what? Have you? It's been like 3 seconds to us.
Yeah, I know. But it's always been 3 seconds there. I don't know whether to put the adverts on.
Put the advert in.
I'll put it on the first one. I think it was on the second one last week, but
Put it on both. Till we need to start finding the second advert.
We
If
do,
you wish
yeah.
to sponsor the podcast,
we should find some.
drop us a message.
We should find some sponsors, shouldn't we? Or we could just like pretend sponsors to make us look like bigger, more popular than what they actually
We've
are.
all got businesses. We can all put them on.
That is actually very true. Today's is sponsored by Kewen School of Music.
That would have been a great
That would have been
log into asking questions about it, but we'll do Just Ask James. Go on, James.
Well, we're gonna no.
James.
I haven't got to Just Ask James. I'm just kind of like I'm looking. But shall we talk about that first? Shall we talk about that first? The Kewen School. Since today's podcast is sponsored by Kewen School of Music, and we have Kewen here, so
You go find your thing.
I'll find it.
I don't actually have any specific questions about it.
What is it?
Just if you wanted to kind of let us know what you've done, your new project.
So I've just opened a music school in Blythe for all ages called Kewen School of Music. It opened on the 27th of March, courtesy of Andrew Cushion, and the mayor, the local mayor, came with all this bling. It was really cool.
Bling.
And Judith and Margaret, the town, like the deputy mayor and the town councillors. I'm good with names most of the time.
Take some notes.
Yep.
I bet you Rich just pissed himself laughing walking all the way to work.
So yeah, we do all sorts of lessons for beginners to advanced kids of 4, probably, when it's more sensible to kind of learn an instrument, to like we've got some older students already. We do piano, guitar, drums, singing. We're going to start workshops like later this month. Just a bunch of all sorts. We've kind of doubled our bookings from the first to the second week, and we've got a lot more newer bookings now on this. Well, this is like the fourth week now. We're kind of starting to get more and more in all the time. So, just keeping that momentum going and keeping it.
So what was this like? So you just is it specific just for like instrument tuition, or do you have more things like music production and stuff like that?
We've had a lot of interest. Well, more than I thought. A couple of people inquiring saying, "Do you do like music tech workshops?" And a couple of people saying I would be happy to like teach music tech workshops. So we're gonna try and get the interest and the demand up a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get some like music theory clubs going on, like a guitar jam sessions. One of our plans in the near future. We've got the group singing session starting this weekend. And then a bunch of like tech songwriting workshops, stuff like that. You know, like be cool.
You should eventually, if you get like to a certain standard, you should introduce like houses, and after each year you do like a battle of the bands on each house.
We're gonna do a concert at the end of the year, like maybe it's around Easter and around Christmas time. So obviously we've just opened this Easter, but maybe it's Christmas time we'll do like a big concert. Just get them to play whatever, like really informal kind of thing. But get the parents coming along and try and just kind of like give them something to work towards, you know. So
that's cool. So is it mainly like young'uns that you teach, or you're trying to look for like all
like I say, all ages, but being a school and kind of offering tuition of that, so all our tutors are DBS checked, and we're kind of just we're marketing to kids quite a lot, but as I say, we've got like some older students there already, so that's really good.
Might actually learn how to play guitar for once.
I've
just made it up for the last 5 years. Come down and actually learn what the threats do.
This is an A chord. No, it's not.
This is an A chord. You ever see me play a guitar live? It's crazy. That's what my A's look like. Nobody gets it.
Right, like the other way around.
And that's
you're like,
the look of a musician.
So you've got
structure.
So you're because you've got. I don't even know how the hell you do it.
So you're kind of like that. So I'm pressing down string 4, 5, 6. No, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
And then I can take that off, and it's an A7, and then I can move that along. It's an A minor.
Yeah.
It's because when I was doing it, I couldn't do that because what was pissing me off because I was self-taught. What was pissing me off is when I was doing that and I was muting a different string and it sounded shit.
Yeah.
Same reason everybody hates doing bar chords when you first do it.
Yeah.
There's not enough. You're getting it wrong.
If any of my students are watching this, like I am lethal with my bar chord tuition, really strict.
But you got
to get it wrong. You know, you got to keep doing it. For months.
It just mutes and it sounds wrong, and that's what I was getting the 8, and I couldn't do it. And then eventually I was like, I'm sure I'm just finding my own way, and it stuck. And then really fucking weird. Like, if I was to describe myself as a Pokemon, I'd be Tangler from the first generation. But that's what my fingers are.
Did Tangler evolve?
Apparently so. I just evolved up on my Pokemon Go the other day. It's some big fucking.
I can't remember the name, but I see that. I've got a visual.
I don't know. I'll find it for you.
Cheers.
I know you're dying to see what Tangler evolution looks like.
My Pokemon knowledge is very limited.
Oh, Kewen.
I know you are a big fan.
At least to Gen 2. I've seen like the first few bits of Gen 3. I've kind of played most of the games.
I mean, I was there. I was there at the start. To be fair, like I don't even know the like Pokemon.
Tangrowth now.
Tangrowth. Oh.
So if you wouldn't understand what I was on about, that was a Tangler.
Yeah.
It's a Tangrowth.
I see.
That's a weird.
Just a heads up there.
Alright, we've got 20 minutes to power through this sound.
Oh, easy. Yeah. Shall I do it? Just ask James.
Yes, let's ask James.
Let's do it. Just ask James. This is a very quick one. This one. It's so this is the musician XF_music. And I'm trying to keep it like relevant to the episode, and I mentioned about burnout. So this one's just titled Burnout. So he says, I need help. I cannot figure out how to get through this burnout. I have shows booked that I already committed to, and I'm so burnt out on music right now that my playing is absolutely atrocious. Any suggestions are appreciated. So how would we deal with
definitely
burnout?
got this. I'm feeling like that a lot with my original gigs because I'm not just putting on a tour where I'm like, I feel like I'm too far off my mic.
You are completely.
Sorry.
I just thought I'd leave it just.
And I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm doing a HMV gig beforehand, and then I'm doing this, then I'm doing this, and then I'm rushing around to do the sound check, and I've got like very little time to enjoy the gig. What I'm going to start doing is, I'm sure York I've got plenty of time before I'm actually on stage, whereas Birmingham I am doing a HMV just to push tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a good idea when I first started doing it, but you get to the gig and you're absolutely burnt out, you're tired, and so
You're burning alive.
it's good because it's going to be one of my songs next year.
Right.
Colin Michael exclusive. So when the tour's done, when I start booking the headline shows again, I'm going to make sure I'm not doing anything else that day. I don't want to just wait. Like I do like up to 4 to 6 gigs a night on the cover scene, and that's just because it's a job. Essentially, that's like saying, oh well, I work 10 to 12 hours a day kind of thing. It's a general job. But if you're doing original stuff and you feel like you're burning out, make sure that day is just the build up. Get hyped for it, enjoy it, get to your loading earlier so that you load up, you set up, there's no stress, you can enjoy the event, watch the support acts, you don't have to worry about people.
Yeah. We've learned from the band just getting there in enough time to troubleshoot any
don't
issues.
stress yourself on the day.
Right, yeah.
I think this guy's burnout is just, he says it's financial stress in a comment, but I think what he means is just burnout in general, just like he finds it hard to kind of get out to play the gig and he needs the money.
Right.
Just take lots of drugs, drink a lot.
It's my necklace.
I mean, if you have to drive...
Have we swapped roles on this? Have we swapped roles?
Yeah, I know.
I'm normally like, give up.
No, don't
Listen to
buy...
James. James says, give up.
Don't buy drugs. Become a rock star and they give you them for free. That's a Love Actually.
Rock stars,
Absolutely. No, don't do that. Seriously, I get burnt out all the time, to be honest, because I say, like, I've practically got 2 full-time jobs at the moment, which is like one doing music, one doing the full-time
Red Bull
job.
and Guinness is my tip.
Yeah, it's basically just, you've got to just get through it. There's not really any easy way to say. Just you find a day where you can just chill out and drink.
And bash FIFA.
Just relax yourself. just have no worries and just chill the hell out, and then that should hopefully get you through the next 24 hours. After that, I don't know. I'm all out of ideas.
It is just a case of, I get told you should take a break now and then, but
You should absolutely.
like, I had a week off last week. I only did 4 gigs. But they were spaced out, you know, I did like one a day kind of thing. And then I went down to Birmingham for the weekend, only came back this morning.
Rest,
yeah,
definitely.
Taking a bit of a rest.
Self-explanatory, but yeah, it definitely helps. And
Organisation's a good one. Like, you're going to get burned
I
out
love
if
all
you're
that.
gigging in Darlington and then Berwick within the space of 3 hours. It's a big rush, but again, covers an originals gig. Make sure you've got your day planned. Don't just like panic on the day.
There was a comment by Schaefer Jezik. Where the fuck that is. Crazy as this sounds, if you're stressed about money, which is what he said, if you're stressed about money and burn out on music, maybe just get a different job. Seriously.
He's got a point though.
Yeah,
If you're
maybe
not
just get a
willing
different
to-
job for a while, relieves the financial stress and gives you the chance to fall in love with music again. Maybe just power through current obligations for now. Well, yeah, that's what I said.
I was talking about Josh Hodgson before. That's what he did.
Yeah,
he
that's
got
it.
burnt out and then
Yeah.
went back into it, and I think he's like now
Yeah.
into it more than he ever
It
has.
happens. The guy says, so the XF Music says, I already have another job. Same. Another job pulling me away from what I love is not the answer. Plus, no job that I am actually qualified for will pay me a livable wage where I live. Yeah, it's always a tough one, isn't it? As to say, like, yes, Josh did do that, didn't he? I actually told him, because I remember he's because he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to delete my Facebook page and stuff like that." I was like, "Don't delete your Facebook page, just like hide it." And then if you ever get back into it,
He was totally against it. He was just like,
but he did hide it. He didn't actually get rid of it, and then he's obviously it's kind of came back now. So yeah, I mean sometimes.
Well, James, I'm going to cut you there while we take a break for part 3 while Kewen can discuss his car problems.
Right, okay, right, we'll see you. We should have. Hang on a minute. Soundbar. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let's, yeah, we'll go. See you in a bit.
sorry guys, I know this is like proper like
No, don't
spaced
worry
out and
about
stuff.
it. If you didn't get your call, I was going to cut part 3 out and just kind of make this a long part 2 and just end it with socials and stuff.
Right, yeah. We'll sort it out. I mean, they're early, so
But we're
they're
here.
gonna have to like. Oh, he's ringing again. Hello.
We're back, baby! You didn't have your soundboard ready, so I just thought. Go on, you got this. You got this. Got this.
Right, okay. Yep, off the stage, and then...
We're back, baby!
Oh, that was an effort, James.
Ah, son, welcome back. So, the situation was, Kewen was getting his car helped
Oh, we
by...
never announced the story. Do you want to tell the
go on then.
today?
Yeah. My clutch gone, basically. In long story short, I got here somehow. I stalled on a roundabout and it wouldn't go in. I had everyone beeping at us, and I was like trying to get it into gear. I had to kind of just manage to pull over at the side, but it was like on a slip road basically. And then I managed to get it into first. And I was like, am I going to have to drive all the way here in first? But I managed to get it up to third. Had to stop at like one roundabout, but managed to get back up. And then I just basically came into Sunderland. Most of the 10-minute journey was mostly in third gear.
Wow.
Thankfully, the lights were like, just like there was one that was red, and I was like, please change. And then it went green. And then it just nearly conked out at the roundabout there. And I just managed to hop it up into first and kind of crashed into the car park.
Yeah.
Something off of a movie, honestly. So that was the A guy, and he's gone to the wrong ship in.
He's went to Benton, not Sunderland, but...
So hopefully we don't have to cut this short, and hopefully...
Well, it sounds like we've got plenty of time.
I hope he's here soon, but I also hope that it's not imminent. So
That's all right. All we cut out at the end there was just ask James. I think we kind of got the gist of it. Basically, if you ever feel like you're burning out, take a breather, reflect on what you're doing, enjoy the gig a bit more by making time to enjoy the gig. I'm never going to listen to this advice, so I don't know why I'm telling you it.
I'm exactly the same. I've been
It's easy to say it. It's never easy to do it.
Just from a personal opinion, I didn't really give before. Just taking on a lot, like my music school, when you're trying to balance already teaching 30 odd lessons a week, gigging, spending time with friends and family and relationships, and just trying to fit life around that as well.
It's hard, isn't it?
We found the cheaters. We do a podcast together.
Yeah.
It's great work, James, isn't it?
Yeah, damn it.
And I feel awful because it's friends and family who you start seeing less and less, but then you start seeing them at a gig, but then you feel bad because you can't spend time outside. And hopefully, my aim, if I get the school up and running a bit more, it's gonna free my time up a little bit. Obviously, I've got more responsibility, but I can back off from the lessons, pick and choose my gigs, prioritise the band a bit more, which is where I'm going. Yeah. And just kind of hopefully that's this lease has been in the process of for a year, and I knew it would happen at the same time of all my songs and my music, and trying to do it all is so burnout is very common, but I keep telling myself if you've got no plan either in place, obviously you have to break it up. But if you give yourself a final destination with it, in 2 months from now I want to be here. If I'm not, this is what I'm. Make sure you're not doing it for eternity, or it can feel like it sometimes.
Because then once you've got that. Well, that's where I edit. Then you can take a little step back from that kind of stuff, and then you can think, well, what do I want to do next? Rather than just constantly thinking, I've got to release this, got to release this, got to release this. Because it's hard. I mean, sometimes I wonder how the professionals do it, but they've got a crack team helping them out. We've got to do everything ourselves, haven't we? It's
I've been wanting an assistant for a long time now, and I nearly got one before COVID, and then I just had no money to get an assistant, and then it's kind of had to, all the investing I've been doing this last year or two, it's just been it's something I love to do, someone to make my posters, to do my admin, help run the school a bit, but you just got to do it all yourself. It's hard.
I bet absolutely. I'm going to switch. This is the start of part 3. So just merging that in with projects and all the time and everything that you've been doing. As everything's getting released. Sorry, James. I know I'm standing away from this.
That's all right. Well, it's
as everything. I won't touch it
because I'll edit. It'll sound fine once I edit it.
You'll cry later. We did a shindig in Rothbury.
I want to talk about that.
Do you want to talk about that or not?
You can if you want.
No, I don't know if this is a surprise, and I'll just
go on. You go
So basically, James, what happened is
Was it church? Wasn't it something you did a little...
The old church
Studios.
studio
I've
in
seen-
Rothbury.
I've seen
Thropton
that.
to be precise.
and
Yeah.
he called me up to be like, I need the best musician going. Have you got James's number? And then he weren't available. And yeah, he got like a bunch of session musicians in, and it's basically this big production where Kewen and the Crosswalks.
Yeah.
As if I know they went
Callum and the
Crosswalks and
Callum and the
Crossroads.
doesn't have the same ring, does it?
They were was it all the originals that are getting released? Or was it some, and then it was some covers that?
There's
had
covers and
different time?
originals in there.
But was it all the originals that are getting released, or did you do
No,
a couple of them?
we've not done all of them.
Basically like a mixture, predominantly obviously originals. And it's just like, it's a cool little production. It's not just like some guy in a small camera. You had on the full-on clipboards. That's what amazed me. Take 47. I'm like, what the fuck's this?
They weren't American though.
I don't know. Well, my accents are.
Yeah, it's the most ambitious thing I've ever done, and I'm so excited to.
So what was it that you did?
So we're
explain
basically
this better than
we
me.
rented the studio out for 5 days, 9 till 5 kind of job, and did 17 songs back to back. Got them filmed, got them recorded, and you see all these kind of live things all the time, but they're like they're playing it live, but the takes are recorded. And I'm not about that. I'm about authenticity.
Live and live.
It's all live. Yes, there's a little bit of editing, clean it up, mixing it. Your harmonies aren't always going to be, but we're trying to keep it as authentic as possible, and mash that up with the takes. And we're getting like the footage back now in drips and drabs, and it's like it's amazing. Like I haven't had the one we did. Well, you've been on a few. You were on.
I'm off to see them in September.
Busted.
I bought my tickets the other day.
So we performed a Busted cover.
Sweet.
Meet You There, and it was inspired by a kind of live lounge session that they did when they got back together. And yeah, it was really good. Like piano, and I was on guitar. You were on backing. Well, secondary lead vocals really. And just the scope of the project took like months to orchestrate. Like it was very expensive. It was still like one of the biggest things I've ever done. So like I want to make a big deal of that when it comes out, and like that's why we've been doing music videos. We've been recording the album over the last couple of years. We're just waiting to get this backlog of stuff to then just drop it when it's all out and ready. To keep the momentum of it going and just kind of show people what we've got, and a few covers for fun as well. Just it's all really cool. Like
It sounds. I mean, look at just the pictures alone. It looked good. What made you choose that particular venue? Was it just something that you saw, or you had an idea of this is kind of what I want, and then you just search for venues that? Look like that?
We did the album at Blast in town, and
I was there.
yeah, you were also featured on the song, which we didn't do in Live Lounge.
I mean, the new part of the band, me.
The album's full of features. It was gonna be Kewen and the Crosswalks, the album, but we had lineup changes, and unfortunately, I'm gutted, but my drummer isn't even on any of the tracks. Hannah, my bassist's on everything, and Dean, my current guitarist, is on one song backing because he's with Hannah. Him and Hannah are together.
Yeah.
But Ollie, who was my guitarist, kind of my best friend from school, he's like he produced the whole thing. He did all the guitars.
Nice to know friends who can produce it.
Yeah, exactly. It's always handy, and he the album couldn't have been done without him. So it was a big thing. He's part of all the behind the scenes stuff and a lot of the stuff that we've got. He wasn't there for Live Lounge, and he's kind of took a back step a lot now that we've got the band. But yeah, there was loads of session musicians on the album because we've got saxophones, fiddles, trumpets on the one that you were a part of.
Yeah.
So the whole thing's like really grand. So we used this. We wanted to do this big project, and we had some songs with over 10 musicians. So we had wanted the space. So the main reason we got the old church studio because we recorded the two ballads there, or parts of the two ballads. We used the piano for one thing, and we got a string quartet on one of the songs as well. So we needed the space to kind of make it sound nice. So that's why we needed the space purely. I was like, when I was there recording those songs for the album, I was like, this live project that I want to do is like more than enough space for us here. So that's why I chose that.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. It sounds like it's going to come out really well. It looked really good when we were doing it. And obviously from what I'd heard on the day of just playing back the recordings and stuff.
Yeah,
come back
I'm
really
so
well.
excited. Like,
So kind of just following in with that, obviously if you're going to have like this big production drop, even though technically at this point we're nearly halfway through the year, what would you say your achievements and goals are to finish the year as an originals artist, putting like music school aside?
Yeah, because just as an artist is kind of just a little bit more take myself a bit more seriously. I mean, I've had a few years out of it purely because I've been writing. There's been COVID. There's been not a chance to get out there and do stuff. I've been trying to get my band up and running, so we do the covers thing, and so we're trying to get that started so that we're then ready to showcase the original stuff, get all of that filmed, get all of that done. And then actually, instead of just dropping a song, having the music video to go with it, having a live session to go with it, having interviews and podcasts and things to go with it. So you've got things to keep bringing out rather than like, what's the post going to be today? An announcement for an announcement, or like me being like, look, I'm ready for my gigs. Like, you know what I mean?
It's something that it's because there's a thing, a lot of the like, especially like social media is quite saturated. So you do need stuff now that just brings you out of the, like, as what you say, like doing the usual, like, this is me kind of about to do a gig kind of thing. Nobody really, like, nobody really cares about that you're about to do a gig. It's like, but people are very engaged if you say, like, even taking like behind the scenes of that, the church thing, it's very engaging. It's like, oh, that's interesting.
I mean, I did one of them and somebody took the piss on that not tour post thing.
Yeah.
They didn't like my behind the scenes either.
No.
Oh, well.
But you're not going to get, like, so I'm talking about haters earlier and stuff, you're not going to get everybody. And the more that you put yourself out there, I'm finding you get more negative, positive as well. But it's that one negative thing that can stick with you.
One negative overtakes 1,000 positives.
But you build up thick skin doing this, and you're like, no, I believe in what I'm doing. I think it's good.
That's the key thing, isn't it? Like, if you believe that, like, what you're doing is good, then it doesn't matter what the odd person thinks. Yeah. Especially if you're getting like compliments from multiple people as well. You kind of think, well, I'm good, because the thing is, like, it's very easy to go like, oh, I'm going to try and please everybody, but that just doesn't work, does it? You've got to say, this is who I'm going to please, and it means I'm not going to be able to please them people, but I don't really give a shit if you don't like my stuff. Yeah.
I was on about my belt buckle earlier, that stirs some controversy, like. Yeah. So I wear this belt buckle with Kewen on, because it was a gift, but I also get, like, country singers where they've got their names on the guitars and stuff like that, and it's on my strap. It's turned into a brand at this point, Kewen, with this music school and loads of things. So it's to the point where my band love it. They think, like, oh, we should sell them, make things of them. I've had people come up to saying, that looks amazing, that's like where'd you get that from, or like, it'd be great if you sold them, and I've had people thinking that that's like so pretentious and it's like, makes you look like a dick, and I'm like, I'm trying to make a bit of a statement and sticking with it, because it seems to be, that's how you get a bit of recognition and notice, is by like putting yourself out there and being different, you know.
Standing it's being yourself, really, isn't it? And then if you can
building a brand, as you say,
if you can be yourself, then you can do that better than anyone else. That's a bloody song that I've written. I've just recited one of my lyrics, but no, it's true though. It's
be
like
yourself, unless you could be
Bob Dylan.
But I think it's just going back to what you're asking. Like, I think it's just surreal to think how much, like, my first. Well, technically released one song, The Line, a couple of years ago from the album, but Chapters is the lead single from the album with a music video that's going to be really pushed. And it's exciting to think, like, after all those live sessions have dropped, the music video, the behind the scenes stuff, we're going to do a Christmas song, right? Well, I've written it, we're recording it, we're going to release it at the end of the year, exclusive, is like where things will be. Like, you know, I know... to get in the charts, or like to get a bit of recognition would be the most ideal thing, but to get 5 new people who are listening to your music would be like, after all that,
building
like,
a fan base.
That's amazing. So
because them 5 will show their 5 friends, and their 5 friends show their 5 friends, and all of a sudden you go 5 to 25 to 50 to 100. And
so it's just about kind of, it's a passion project ultimately, but it's about, you know, it I think your music defines who you are, and you kind of, you want to then think, right, what's the next thing? What I was saying before, like, what can we plan the next thing? And so just a little bit of kind of success and something from it, really, is like kind of building up my own name, even just locally, you know. Like, I think that's important.
I think it's working well as well.
Yeah.
It will do.
I think so, yeah. I think hopefully we'll just share that busted cover on loads of like busted fan
We'll
pages.
put it
and
on the
stuff.
podcast and everything. We'll
Yeah.
share it when. And with the same thing we say to all musicians that come on. If you have any big releases coming out, let us know, and we'll give it a share that week. You know, just it might be an extra 300 followers that's on our Instagram, but it might be 300 that aren't following you. It might be that little crossover.
Yeah.
You know.
That could be something you would do, you know, like, because we were talking before, it's like, oh, we need like an advert in between one of the things. People message us, oh, I've got this song coming out this particular week. We find out when the podcast will be aired, and we just give a quick mention.
Yeah. Let us know if you've got
£10
anything
per
coming
mention.
out.
It's a bit steep, isn't it?
I know, I was joking about
Even if people want to like
£1.
Yeah,
video
we'll get
record
£1.
it and say, oh guys, this is the song that's coming out, we could put that video in,
We could
in between.
actually, yeah, in between, yeah.
Doesn't have to be the best quality video, just use your phone. So if you were like, oh look, Chapters is coming out, and when we're taken, we'll see you in part 2. We'll just like put that in there, and then we'll come back to
The artwork's out. It's me like on a bookshelf in Barter Books in Alnwick.
I've seen it. Is that your new profile thing? Is that what we
Yes.
shared today?
Probably. So that's out, and then by the time this is out, Chapters will be out, and that'll be on Spotify under Kewen. But the music video will drop later in May, and that was filmed in Barter Books in Alnwick, this big bookshop.
That one?
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of that.
And it's got a
That looks cool, yeah.
really pro kind of...
Did you purposely put Joe?
No, it's
Strumming
we
there?
started taking pictures at a random bookshelf. It's like a massive book warehouse, and
Who
it's
killed
the,
John Lennon?
it's the music section.
Well, yeah, I
We
got
didn't
that.
plan
Rod
that.
Stewart,
We didn't plan that.
McFly.
But
Oh, there's no busted in this, you know.
Oh, it's McFly though.
Elton
Hey.
John.
if you can see them, there's 2 books in the top of the artwork, which are
brown
little
ones.
Easter eggs. Yeah, they're in the music video.
I mean,
You
I
probably
can't
can't
zoom
make
into
out the
what
text.
they're saying. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
It
Is the-
keeps you in suspense. You see.
It does.
That's a great thing about like
Crazy.
bookshelves. You can always leave little
Some
clues,
outro.
can't you? Like
Yeah.
Let's go through which
I
books.
can't, I can't see anyway. I'm just.
Yeah. it is. Some
Go for
bedtime
it.
reading. for
You'll have to go to Alnwick to the bookshop.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Alnwick. The only time I'm going to Annex to see Hogwarts.
But yeah, no, it's cool. I always
Really
like little
cool
Easter egg
photo.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, obviously, Chapters, as we're recording this now, is still to come out. Have you got any plans for any more singles come out before the album drops? You know, some people do like, I've got 4, then here's an album. Kind of
yeah, and usually it's more common. I mean, I said I previously released a song. I just kind of dropped it.
Yeah.
Didn't
Is that the line?
push it much. The line, and that is on the album. But
Is it the same song? Have you like remastered it?
No, it should be the same
the
recording,
exact
same
same
master.
recording.
Can you do that on Spotify? Like, just if you release a song and then you just decide you want it on an album later on, you just kind of.
I've noticed people
Come
do
on,
that
James,
now.
we've had this conversation ages ago.
Did we?
The way you're meant to do it is you drop your album first. So say you got an album to release,
Right.
say December for the crack.
Yeah.
But you want to do a few songs out beforehand. You release the song, and what normally comes with your album is like it's unique ID code. You just have to make sure it's the same code, so that when the album comes out, it's not playing 2 different streams. And then let's say
Right.
you've racked up 10,000 streams on this
combines
single,
them, doesn't it?
it will then add the 10,000 rather than going
Nice.
10,000 streams.
And then you've got
0,
zero.
1, 2. It all adds as one
Nice.
track. So
Okay, that's-
they've all got unique reference numbers. I think it depends on your distribution site you use,
Right. Okay.
but yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's it's
So
good
that's
to know.
how you see like Ed Sheeran's just released a song.
But that's going to be on his album as well.
That's the first single of the album. He'll probably have another one before the album kind of thing.
Nice. Oh, right, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry.
No.
Which ones have you got coming out?
So with how much content we've got coming out, there was no plan to release something else. Things may change. I may do something that we are on about a music video for one of the tracks post album. Maybe there's something else as well to do early next year or something after we've run out of everything.
That sounds good.
And just do it quite quick. But nothing really set in stone. We're going to get the whole launch gig filmed in September, so that's like going to all come out as well.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So
Just because I'm trying to stall a little bit of time, so we've got. Check your
Yeah,
phone,
no,
see if
no,
you
I
guys-
think we've got time.
2 questions on the album. One, how many tracks are on there?
12.
12.
It's a big one.
And the question that you probably not want to answer, which is your favourite?
Oh, yeah, that is a.
That
is
actually, it's second to that. Which one's your favourite, and which one are you most excited for people to hear? Sometimes that's a very different answer.
Yeah. So.
It's so hard to pick a favourite because, like, there are the couple of tracks that I wrote a long time ago, and that I think a lot of the rest of the track are significantly a bit of a step up. A lot of the rest of the records are a bit of a step up from that. But the one I think I'm most excited for people to hear is Chapters.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it's got a very catchy hook. We've put a lot of effort into the promo for that one. The music video, like a lot of things to come out.
Which we may or may not have already heard.
Yes. These guys helped out.
Yeah, we recorded the song first today. it's a banger, like.
Yeah. But I've got a soft spot for two of the songs. I wrote Chapters alongside a song called Lake Song. When I went through a breakup in 2021, I went and took myself to the lakes and took a ridiculous amount of stuff up a mountain for 3 nights.
Okay.
Decided to do a bit of wild camping, take a guitar up, and just I've never done that. You hear about songwriters like going on these retreats,
Finding themselves.
Yes, exactly. And while I definitely found myself in many sheep,
It's a story, isn't it?
I tell this live before I play Lake Song particularly, because Lake Song's a story song about just being at the lakes, having a good time with somebody that you love. It's the country song as well. And Chapters was the other song I wrote up there. I had a horrible night's sleep. There was a fox running around my tent, like outside, not inside. I didn't let it in. There was a sheep having a coughing fit the whole time. I was just really, I got really. Yeah, it had something in his throat. I think. I felt really bad.
What does a
for
sheep
it.
sound when they cough?
It was like it was like demonic.
You know what? I don't know what they sound like, but that sounded like a very good impression.
So I'm a good impression. But yeah, so I just got really freaked out. So I was like the middle of summer.
Song.
It is in
part
the
of,
song
like,
somewhere really quietly.
That's scary at midnight in a tent.
It was.
You got a fox running around and then it's the sound going.
This is basically what happened. So I got really freaked out, and then as soon as the sun came up, which was 3 a.m, because it's the middle of summer, I came back. It took the whole morning. I drove on 40. I was up for more or less 48 hours, and I was driving. I had to keep stopping and splashing myself with water. So it was a story, but I'm so glad I did it because I know I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
and I know that.
Could have told you that.
Yeah. And I wrote 2 of my best songs I think I've ever wrote up there.
So that sounds like something you should do again.
Yeah.
It's not the exact same experience.
And something where you just take yourself away and to write, and I think that is
do
important.
a spa day next time.
Yeah,
Or a
something a bit more
shotgun and get rid of
classic.
that sheep.
Yeah, yeah, basically. But yeah, there's all sorts on the album. There's a cool rock song called Disco Lights in Georgia, which is possibly another one I'm really excited for people to hear.
I like the sound of that one already. Disco
Yes.
Lights in Georgia.
That's the one we're maybe thinking of doing another video for. There's a 11-minute song on the album called By My Side.
You don't get that very often.
I'm being very ambitious.
Yeah.
It's a big rock thing that goes
Is it
in
the
all these
finale?
sections. It is, technically, but it's track 11.
And then you got 12 tracks.
12 tracks. It's not a hidden one, but it's a big ballad that is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever written. It's called The Decade, and it's about a torn relationship between a son and his father. May or may not have been written through personal experience. And it's realising that you haven't spoken to this person in a decade, and that's a long time. And it's a very emotional song we did it at Live Lounge one of the days. It was a very hard day. And it's got the big string quartet. It's got a big 2-minute outro with this mad guitar solo. So I'm very excited for people to hear the album, and there's a lot of cool stuff throughout as well. So there's different reasons why I'm kind of happy for excited for people to hear different things. But Chapters for the generic kind of side of singing along and having a good time. Yeah,
Because it sounds like it's got quite a bit of peaks and troughs, which is exactly what an album should be. It's not just there's a bunch of singles, let's put it together. It's you feel you've which is what you don't see very often. It's the art of making an album where you've got the positioning is just as important as the songs themselves.
Yeah.
You start off high, then you middle out, then you go really low, then you pump it up right at the end just to
And I think it's what's missing a lot today because people just drop singles and you need a body of work sometimes that it belongs to.
Yeah,
I did my lockdown song Freedom, And everyone was like, "Is that going to be on that album?" And I know that it was going to take a while, but I didn't think 3 years later it would still be not out. But it was definitely a song of its time, obviously. But it
didn't fit.
Weird that it didn't feel like it needed to be on anything. But it's weird that I now have a song because I always like it to be part of an EP or an album. So yeah, it's kind of
that's pretty cool.
Weird.
Do you know what I love about this podcast? And this isn't just like changing the subject. Is, you know, when in the music industry you get someone who's like, I've got an album coming out, and you're like, oh, I'll take a listen to it, and it slips your mind. You never generally put it in your mind to listen to it.
You have an intention to, but
and you're like, that's it, I'll check it, and they keep saying I'll check it, and we've all done it. I'll take a listen. Oh fuck, I forgot to do that kind of thing. After this episode, I'm really excited to listen to this album.
Same.
Like, you know, but that's what we do with the podcast. Like, it brings more of a personal connection to the viewers. But I generally am excited for this album.
I think all the content, the content's like designed for people to be excited. Like, see how good the music video looks, how good the live sessions look. If you know me, I don't half-arse anything. But like, it's exciting. Like your question earlier, like what's next? Like after that, like what would you be feel like? I don't know. It's gonna have to be like out of this world, because like I don't want to do anything. I want to do something better.
Well, that's it. I've normally got the next project ready when one's coming out. It's like I've got a couple of projects I'm working on now, and then when they're coming towards the end, I know I'll have the next one ready, whether it's being done or it's being thought of. Like I'll know what. But to me, that's like a year and a half way. To you've got 3 months.
Well, it's crazy that this song's coming out. It will be out by the time this is out, but like as it stands now, it's a week on Friday.
A week on Friday.
So it will be out. Stream chapters.
What are we doing?
So
I'm
when's
paying
this?
mad taxes.
28th. When's this? Was that when you pay your taxes that day? Is it?
Yeah, it comes out 28th.
It's cool.
That's not cool. I can hear it with passion.
So I am doing a launch gig show in Blythe for it, just a kind of like acoustic show. I think a couple of my band members are coming. They're going to just jump on Cajon and do a couple of songs with us.
Band gig that day.
But it's like, I think I asked if you wanted to do.
I would have loved to, but I'm double booked. I think we're gigging that day actually.
You're in high demand.
28th.
Yeah.
You says the points duo, and I'm just assuming that's going to be me.
Possibly. Well, I've got a band gig before them, so I'm hoping that's you, because I've got half an hour to get there from.
So when's that? The 28th of April.
April, sorry. Sorry, I don't know why we started working here. You pick up a calendar and you just start going. I've got.
It's busy. Looks busy.
Working there now.
You've got the points duo. I've got filthies on here.
Might be filthy. That no, should be the points.
Oh, I've got more, but the rugby plug till 11. Ooh.
Sound. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll figure out what I actually sent you the message.
As if I were just like
discussing on the podcast. Yeah.
No, we're points due, but we're 12 o'clock start. That's it.
Right. Okay. So
and you're confirming that one.
So is that definitely the 28th? So I can change that.
Sorry, Callum.
No, it's alright. It's a good job that was brought up, because then
we got a lot of gigs booked the other day, and I just kind of sent him a message going, "This is what we're doing," and he was like, "Yeah, sound." And none of it were put it in my diary yet. I've just got them kind of like whittled in on a notepad for now.
Yeah.
Oh no, hang on a minute.
Oh come on, James. Man.
Right, so here's a curveball. Luke's asked me to play the 28th late
It fills.
at Filthies, so that's why I put Filthies.
That would explain why he thinks I was doing it anyway.
Yeah, so
You thought it had
you
more?
must assume that you're playing Filthies. We're gonna have to talk to him.
We'll double check it.
Right, we'll double check.
I'm at Filthies this week.
Yeah.
Obviously.
We'll let you know how it works out.
There's so much at stake here. There's that book and there's my car.
Oh, what a day.
Yeah.
So just before we go, if people wanted to follow your social medias, because when I was trying to tag you to say this is what we got, there's 2.
Yes.
Promote them both. Where do people find you? Where do people find the band? Feel free to promote the music.
Yeah, so if you just look up Kewen, everything will probably come up. Kewen in the crosswalks, Kewen School of Music, DJ Kewen Guitar Lessons. Ignore most of those.
DJ Kewen. That's my favourite one of them all.
That's definitely on the lead.
German house music.
I do the odd wedding, but it's not like... I do it with the band. Sometimes I'll offer the disco service, but it's not like... I'm getting less and less bookings now, which is kind of what I want.
Yeah.
I was doing them loads, like once upon a time. But so Kewen on Kewen Music on Instagram, and I'm trying with the TikTok a little bit more. I'm doing a series called Ending Songs Wrong, where I play a riff and the last note's wrong because it's just
That's
quite funny.
cool, yeah.
So I'm just trying new
That's
things.
a TikTok-y kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to do a more humorous side on there, I guess. But yeah, Kewen and the Crosswalks, all the pro stuff's going to be on YouTube and that, so there'll be...
So like and subscribe to this YouTube.
Yeah, so Kewen and the Crosswalks, but on Spotify, on Apple Music and stuff, it's all under Kewen, just Kewen, which is my surname for those who don't know.
Yes. For anyone who hasn't yet, go like and subscribe to our YouTube. We are Off the Stage, normally found by Off the Stage UK. We said if we get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, we would wear mankinis and go for a swim in the North Sea. That's not happening so far because nobody's really following us. So put your arse into gear.
I think up to 150.
That's nowhere near the 1,000.
I know.
Prove me wrong, guys. Get us up there. Instagram, Facebook, everything is Off the Stage UK. Twitter, Off the Stage 2. Email us, offthestageuk@gmail.com if you want any musicians that you want to see on the stage. For some reason, James is booking us all the way to July, by the way. You'll have a word with you about that. If you want to promote anything, let us know. Whether it's a big gig, whether it's a song release, as we thought out loud earlier, send us a video and we'll add it to a podcast that makes sense. Put it in. If we can't fit it on the pod, we'll fit it on the socials. Any sections you want us to bring out, suggestions. It's your podcast. We just press play and drink.
Shout out to Matt as well from Last Case Scenario because he shouted me out when you had him
I
on.
saw him at my gig the other day.
Did you?
I was gigging in Blythe and he just was at the window going,
he was coming to the school because he's teaching. I've just seen him tonight. So, but yeah, that's cool.
It's good, lad.
And one more thing I didn't mention is that there will be a launch gig happening for Kewen and the Crosswalks and the album at the Exchange in North Shields on the 30th of September. So yes, give these guys a follow and a like and
remind me about that gig.
We'll
I know I can't make it, but at least we can put it on our gig guide.
Yeah.
Give us a couple of weeks notice and I'll chuck it in.
Yeah, it's going to be big. It's going to be like a 2-hour show.
Any other originals gigs coming out after the 2nd of May you need to push?
The band Kewen and the Crosswalks are doing a party in the park thing in Morpeth on the bank holiday in August.
Free entry or ticket entry?
I think it's a ticket thing because there's like a tribute band thing on and a few original bands.
Okay, sell some tickets if you're near the Morpeth area, or if you're not, drive up. Although I will be honest, Morpeth for parking, one of the worst places I've ever been.
Yeah, it's not very good.
I think it's in like a field, so
okay.
But still,
it's when they say gig in Morpeth, you're like, oh, you need one of them weird car dash things with a little clock on that you can't get unless you're from the area.
Yeah,
Like,
I've got one. I've got one. I bought one. Like it was like £2 from a machine and just spat one out. I was like,
yes. No machine to get one. When I went, hated it.
Yeah.
Traumatized. That's why I don't like Morpeth for like one experience. Thank you very much for coming down.
No, appreciate it.
Would you like to tell us?
Would you
like to tell us?
I don't know.
Would you like to tell us what song you're going to play for us next?
Yes. We're going to, immediately after this, we're going to play a song called Chapters, which is the new song we've been talking about. And it's alright. It's alright. It's different key, but that was kind of
okay.
it.
I've
got it already.
It's been 2 hours since we did this. I don't know where I'm at.
I've got this bloody thing down. As
can you sound check your woo out there, because I think that's a fantastic sarcastic soundboard.
What's that one?
Because you, instead of going woo, you went woo. And I want that to be on the soundboard
when
next
Chapters
week.
comes out, can you put "It's alright" as a sample?
Yeah, that's absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Do it. All right. Hold on. We'll be quiet. You've got to do it in the mic. You ready?
It's alright.
That's perfect. I'll add that on.
That way we'll have that clip.
What minute's that on?
That came through on the 33rd and 56th.
Okay. Just so mental note.
Yeah. Are you gonna remember it?
I'll probably not, but I'll listen to it anyway. So it's
I'll text you now.
Yeah, text us it, and then I'll add that on. I have to find out what me woo. I didn't even realise I unenthusiastically wooed.
So anyway, somebody who does not want to be here.
I'm going to be here for 2 more hours.
I hope it will become soon, to be honest, because it's
Technically, this is half an hour from the time they were meant to be here.
Yeah.
So my theory was, if we pushed it to about now, you should have somebody outside, and if not, it's a long night for you.
Yeah.
I will manage. We'll manage.
So anyway, let's get you set up and let's play that song. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. See you later.
Oh, thank you very much for coming down.
Spot on that.
Alright.
It's alright.
Good. Now there's a little false one at the start, which is be alright, and then after that I want you to sing it on every time. Okay, cool. Let's go do it. I call it the truth, the circle of life. One turn of the page and everything is gonna be alright. The past is the past, the future unwritten. One ticket for now is a cause for having life worth living. When the ink dries away, it makes room for another day. I can feel the chapters closing in. I can feel the chapters of life. I can feel the chapters and everything's alright. Nice. I know that my life wrote down is the meaning of it all in the end. Maybe time can heal these wounds, so I don't have to play pretend. When the ink dries away, it makes room for another day. I can feel the chapters closing in. I can feel the chapters of life. I can feel the chapters and everything's alright. I can feel the pages of this worn out book. I can feel the new pages rise. I can feel the chapters and everything's alright. See them writing pages of my whole life. I can see them on the book and they're A4 size. I can see them writing pages of my whole life. I can see them on the book and they're A4 size. I can see them writing pages of my whole life. I can see them on the book and they're A4 size. I can see them writing pages of my whole life. I can see them on the book and they're A4 size. I can feel the chapters closing in. I can feel the chapters of life. I can feel the chapters and everything's alright. I can feel the pages of this worn out book. I can feel the new pages rise. I can feel the chapters and everything's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, it's alright. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Ollie Myers, and you've been listening to Off the Stage podcast. Make sure you tune in next time.